What's up? What's up? What's up, people? This is Raymond with New Wave Real Talk. I hope each and every one of you are having a wonderful Friday. And thank you for tuning in to the podcast today. So you've seen the topic. We're going to be talking about the current state of the Democratic Party. So much stuff has happened throughout this last, 72 hours, whatever, ever since Joe Biden, dropped his final pick on his vice president for his administration. So much to get into, so much to cover. I'm not going to do it by myself. I'm going to have a good friend of mine come back on the show, and she's going to co-host this joint with me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, help me welcome Miss Sharon Smith. Sharon, how you doing?
Hello, everybody. I am doing great this Friday evening.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming back on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So let's get into this conversation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will preference this and let y'all know when I hit up Miss Sharon about doing this podcast now, talking about this sensitive topic to some people, and some people it's like whatever, but to some people it's a very sensitive topic because society has, I think, made us look at our opinion as like a divisive tool. When people don't agree with you, it's always like a weapon.
Right.
So
right.
Do not knock me or Miss Sharon for our own point of views. This is just how we feel. You know what I mean? You are entitled to your opinion and we are entitled to ours. The only difference is we have a show that we can talk about our opinions.
Right.
So
I think talking about it might help a lot of people, get it off their chest.
Right. An opportunity to vent. So let's just jump into it. How do you feel? How do you feel about I was gonna say vice president, about the potential president of the United States, Joe Biden, selecting Senator from California, Kamala Harris? What's your opinions on that?
Well, being honest with you, I don't know a whole lot about her. Do know is that we can't get any worse, so we're either going to continue to be at risk or we're going to take a risk. And I think I'd rather take a risk because sometimes the unknown is a lot better than just where you're at right now.
Right. Yeah. For me, I don't know how I feel about like the actual pick. Like if I was, let me make sure we put a little bit more respect on her name. Let's see, because I'm sure I'm gonna get some folks. Some folks say, you don't need to put her name up there like that. Senator Kamala Harris.
Yeah, right. You got to be sensitive. They're sensitive out there.
That's right. We got a lot of sensitive people. Well, if I was Joe Biden, I would have picked. Okay, let me say this. I can understand why he picked Senator Harris. I'll say it like that. I can understand why. Like we're in one of the most in the last, decade, like one of the most racially contentious periods. You know what I mean? Like it's very divisive right now between like us versus them. So I get, going with a black vice president candidate or choice. But is she the best person out of everybody that could have been? Me personally, if I was Joe Biden, I would have picked Senator Elizabeth Warren. That's who I necessarily wanted.
And tell me why.
I will tell you why. So for Senator Warren, for me, I feel like she not only talks the talk, but like she walks the walk. Like, and I feel like she is a type of person that can explain things to you. Not just you need to have this because I think it's best for everybody, but she actually has the ability to explain a lot of things to people. And I think she explains it very simplistic, like a very simple, communicator. And I just like too, I like the school teacher swag about her.
Right.
I like how she's very like, this is what it is and here's why. Versus this is just what you need to do.
Right. So I get why you like her. I think me in the state that we're in, we really need a challenge, somebody that is going to challenge. It's good to know why we're challenging, but
Mm-hmm.
have someone that has that boldness and that assertiveness to
Mm-hmm.
stand and say this is how it's going to be. And sometimes an explanation is not needed.
Right. Right. That is true. That
Because
is true.
I can just imagine what they're going to have to clean up. I just can imagine their cleanup process. They're probably going to have to spend the first 4 years defending themselves and cleaning up. Very similar to Obama being in office.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
he spent the first 4 years just, dodging bullets.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Before he probably could get in and do any real work and
Mm-hmm.
make changes.
Right. 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 I agree. I don't think it's going to be an easy fight at all. So let me ask you this question. Do you believe that her being a former prosecutor will help Biden in the remaining part of the campaign?
I do. And the reason I do is because already so many laws have been violated.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And you push those laws through, unlike what we're going through now, it's just like laws don't even matter. So I think her stance and her background will kind of put that back into the White House.
Right.
It's definitely missing from the White House right about now.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like, Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck can come up in there and do whatever they want to do right about.
Right.
And
Right.
that's just how I truly feel. So we need to get that respect back in the White House. We need to get that firmness. And I would probably just say, hey, well, who could better do that than a former prosecutor?
Right. Right. So many people were I think a lot of people wasn't surprised that Vice President Biden chose Kamala Harris because of the times that we're living in. And I think she is definitely qualified to be the vice president. So like my first comment about like the choice, in my opinion, would have been different from the choice that he made. It wasn't necessarily based off of experience to do the job. I think it was just based off of a better experience.
Right.
But,
so you notice what I said to you. I said, I see why you like her.
Right. Like, so
I like her too.
Right. Yeah. So why do you think that there is so much, or do you think that, so on my Facebook timeline, it was such a like, imagine, how was your Facebook timeline when Vice President Biden announced that he would be selecting Senator Kamala Harris to serve as his vice president if he's elected? Like, what was your timeline like? What was the consensus of the people?
It was my timeline, I would say, was a little bit different, and I'll tell you why. I went to high school with Keisha Lance Bottoms. Like we
right, okay,
together.
Okay.
So my timeline was a little bit different because we were all rooting and pushing for Keisha, but it came, if not Keisha, then who? So it was a lot going on that I just kind of pulled away from Facebook because they were going at it. Then they started digging up, Senator Harris' past, and it went straight soap opera. So let me change the channel for a little bit and scroll up and down Instagram for a little while because, Facebook was going back and forth and everybody had their opinion. And it's just sad that we don't even respect each other's opinion anymore. I think our leadership got us in such a place where we don't like each other. We can't have difference of opinion and still speak to one another. Like they were fighting back and forth, and it just kind of got crazy for a minute. So I just kind of like tuned out and signed off for a little while.
I hear you. Well, I'll tell you, my timeline was flooded with people. I don't know what is so weird because most of the people that are on my timeline, I guess it's a mixed bag because I have some Republicans on my timeline, my friends list on Facebook. And I have some Democrats, obviously. But the biggest thing I saw 3 of my friends literally like say that they wasn't necessarily excited about the pick. Right. And then I saw one of my friends said that like he actually referenced her convicting young Black teenagers and young adults and prosecuting them.
I think I saw that post too. That post was floating around. But now there's a question about that. Even with that being said, can she do any worse than what is already being done?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she can do any worse. No, I don't look at Harris and Biden as making anything worse than what it is. I will say that. I think that they will work their butts off to make it better. But I think that, you know, it's hard to forget. And I think just in our country, hypocrisy is like is at like an all-time high. Like hypocrisy used to be the word that you would use, you know, you've been a hypocrite, and it wouldn't really resonate. But like now in 2020, like since the time that President Trump was elected, hypocrisy like took an all new high because he could get caught on the camera saying something and they play it back and he completely disown it. But it's me saying it. So I think that a lot of people are struggling with the hypocrisy of our politics because how can you stand for? And I had a conversation. I'm not going to get too deep into what we talked about, but my employee, we were talking about it today, and about a lot of people can't understand why Biden selected Senator Harris after she said such. Like she called bruh a straight up racist in the debate. Like she didn't even like get to the, you know, she didn't say it in a quasi way. She basically said, you were a part of the bus boycott. You are racist. Let's call it for what it is.
Right. But you know, I think even with her saying that, I think that showed him her boldness and she's not afraid. And in the event, if anything happened to him, he already know that she's somebody that can step into shoes and kind of keep going. And I think that's more so that what he was looking for. I think he was looking for strength. You know, and going back to the timeline thing, a lot of people was talking against her, but then they wasn't necessarily saying who was a better candidate. My thing was, you know, you got that whole group was like, hey, at this point, we'll take almost anybody except Kanye. So we just gonna have this talk like Kanye is not even the issue. No, can't put him up there either. So I really feel like your pickings, it's just like you go in the store and you really, really just gotta have some bananas, but none of the bananas look good. But you gotta find that 1 or 2 bananas that you will at least take home.
Right.
I
100% agree that, you know, and that's another thing that me and my employee was talking about, and you know, she was just like, it's not fair that we got these two sides to pick from, because she actually says that Biden like creeps her out, and she said, you know, she couldn't really get over the idea of you know, choosing someone who would say such things. But I think that it shows a lot of character for Biden for picking Senator Harris, because he put his own personal strifes or whatever feelings or emotions aside to choose the best candidate that he thought would be able to do exactly what you said, which is on day one, if it comes to it, she can become the president of the United States and lead with conviction and not cower away. I love how bold she is. I really do. I'm not offended by strong women. Like, and so for me, I dig it. You know, I support it. When you are speaking for what it is that you know to be correct. Yeah. You know, so yeah. But all right, let's talk about this. We got to get to it. We got to address it. I would be remiss if I did not address it. The everybody now calls her. Let me not say this. Let me see how I can put this. Like her race, okay? It's an issue for me the way the media portrays her now that she has been selected as vice president candidate, or however you say. What's the proper way to say that? Because she's not even the vice president yet. The vice president hopeful, I guess.
She's a candidate, I guess.
Candidate, right?
Or she's on the Biden team.
So, how do you view her race?
Well, I've always been taught that, you know. So if let's take her out of politics, and she, a woman driving down the street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah,
and she got pulled over. What is what is she when she gets pulled over by the police? What's then? She's black then. So why is it an issue now that she's running for vice president of the United States? That now her race is in question, but then they question what Obama was.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I think for them, whoever they are, it's a comfort zone to just not say somebody black is in the White House. So she, everything but black.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She'll be green or purple. She could even be polka dot.
Mm-hmm.
Anything but black. So when it goes down to it, I've always been taught it only takes but 1%. But
1 ounce.
And when you pull me over, whatever's on my driver's license, when I get pulled over for running that red light, I am all the time. Then I'm not going to be one race this day and another race another day. Let's be real.
Right. Well, the big side of me really says that and I do believe that there is only one race, the human race. Like I think that the phenomenon of race and superiority is just all a bunch of crap. I will say that, but I would not. Okay, so the media really did not look at the fact that this woman is Asian and Jamaican and American, right? Her father is from Jamaica and her mother is from India. When I look at pictures of Senator Harris outside of campaign and outside of politics, just with her family, I don't see I don't see a black woman in the same way that some people may. I don't. I see a multiracial person. I don't see just like this black woman. So I guess for me, I don't know. Does that sound weird? Help me out with that.
So you're basing that on what though? Just looking at her?
Yeah, like if you look at a picture of her with her family, her husband is white, her children are white and black, right?
Right.
Or whatever ounce percentage they are African American. But like to me, I just don't agree with the way they're trying to spin it as she's the first black vice president. She's the first multiracial with black descendants in her. She's multiracial. So I guess the point of what I'm trying to say is I think that the media is using the fact that she is mixed with a little bit of black that she has from her father, or 0.5% black or whatever, or 25, whatever the percentage is. But like that is the narrative. And I think that the media is trying to use that to amplify, or I guess for the Democratic side, to amplify the black people to come out and say, yeah, you got your first black vice president. But if I was looking through a book and she wasn't a senator, I wouldn't necessarily, first of all, say she black. Like I wouldn't. I would probably say, oh, she's mixed.
Okay. Well, okay. So I can see that. But I think in the state that we're in, with race being such a conversation piece, I think what we do know for sure is that she's not Latina. So we know she's not white. So,
oh no, yeah, she definitely has. She definitely have African descendants. I mean, her father is Jamaican, and her dad is, and I think he was multiracial too, though. But but no, I'm not saying that she is not like black. But what I'm saying is, I think the media is conveniently using the fact that when she ran for Senate and all of these different things, I don't necessarily think she identified as the first black anything. Now, I mean, until now.
Okay. And I can see where you're going with that. I just think the media, and I would really just say maybe for my culture, we just need a little bit of us, we just want a little bit, I think Obama spoiled us. So I think anybody close to his complexion, can we just get a little bit, back
Right.
White House, that may give us some peace of mind.
Right. Yeah, I guess. And I wanted to say, I'm trying to like frame, because I'm not, my sentiments is not the fact to say that she's not black. That's not what I'm saying. Obviously she is, multiracial, and she's mixed with black, but I just refute the fact that if you got any ounce of black in you, then you automatically black. What identifies you black to me, I think, is more so, I guess, for me, for Raymond, it is a way of life and the way in which, like, it's deep. I don't even know if I can vocalize, but I think it's just like the way you live. If I looked at your life, would I say you black or you white?
Well, and I get that, but then I have, engaged with some individuals, let's just say over the telephone, you call and you're trying to take care of business over the phone, and you get that one representative. And I have literally just been guilty of, I get off the phone and she could be really nice. And I was like, oh, she was a nice white girl. And then I get to the bank and she's darker than me. Like,
right.
You are not,
Right.
So,
well, I mean, I'm in full support of the Biden Harris ticket. I just think that the media is now portraying her as a super black person, but hey, that's just my opinion. But
well, I figure if they gotta call her anything, if they have to make a decision on what she is, again, I think because we are in such in bad shape.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry about that.
Yes, and coming behind, what we're already dealing with, I think it just kind of gives us hope.
Right.
And I think that's all that we as a culture need. Mm-hmm. We just need a little bit of hope. Like, we hope he don't get another 4 years. Mm-hmm. We hope he get out of office. Hope he get on with his life and never look back at us again.
So let's move forward. I think, did you turn your volume up?
No, I think I got myself a little bit. Can you hear me? You echoing?
Yeah, it was just a little bit, but I don't hear me anymore.
Okay.
So the future of the Democratic Party. Where do you think the future of the party is going? Where do you think we're heading with Biden and Harris in the next? Assuming, let's just role play it, they win the presidency in November, June 20th, they are inaugurated as president and vice president of the United States of America. First 100 days, where do you think we're going to be? So this would be, let's see, 30, 60, 90. So this would put us in the spring or going right into the summer. What do you think we're going to be?
I think right now we're going to be in a restoration process. Like, nation really needs restoring. Mm-hmm. We need togetherness. And even with her being multicultural and, mm-hmm. and him being white, even in that instance, let's bring us all together. Mm-hmm. If she's mixed with a little bit of everything, and so let's bring it all together and try to bring the country back where it needs to be as a country. I mean, we're going to always have racism, whether it's hidden racism or whether it's blatant racism, it's going to be there. But I think it can get back to a point of just having respect for one another.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the first 100 days is going to be a sigh of relief.
Right. Okay. I think that would be definitely true. I think that under their administration, I think we'll see a restoration of somewhat of a, I'm not gonna say status quo or norm, but somewhat, right? I think that you know, President Trump ran on the whole ideology of being different, right? Draining the swamp, being the non-politician. I think that under a Biden Harris administration, I think things will start to feel, I guess, kind of normal, right?
Right. It will bring a sense of professionalism.
Right. Yeah, I do agree. I think that's 100%. I think most people can agree to that, whether you're Democrat or Republican.
Right. Because I think right now it's just like a big circus, and it's like clowns just, you got that one clown that's all the other clowns are just following, and it's like, really? You know, like,
right.
You stay on Twitter more than you do anything.
Oh yeah, he loves his Twitter.
You know, let's get back to professionalism.
Right. Well, I said I wasn't going to do this, but let's take a quick break. I'm going to try to see, ladies and gentlemen who are watching the show, I'm going to try to see if we can get the phone line up so you guys can call in and chat with us about this topic, the state of the Democratic Party. So y'all don't go anywhere. Stay where you are, and I'll be right back. Hey, what's up, family? I'm Raymond, and thank you so much for your support of New Wave Real Talk. As I said before many times, this channel is for us, by us, everything Black culture. So if you're liking what you're hearing on the show, let me know by dropping a comment, smash the like button, and let me know. Also, if you're watching the show and you want to be a featured guest on the show, hit me up. The email is in the description, wherever you're finding this video, and let's bring you on. If you got something positive to share regarding Black culture or just culture in general, you're welcome. You're welcome here. So know that. And I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the show. So I'm going to go ahead and put up this number. Now, listen, if you decide to call into the show, work through it. Let's work through it together. But that's the number there. You can call into the show. You can come on and chat about what your opinions are regarding the state of the Democratic Party moving forward with and under the assumptions that we go out and do what we need to do in November. So let's talk about that. Sharon, you know, how do you think this turnout is going to be for the Democratic Party?
I think the turnout is going to be great. So this is what I'm thinking. You know, the whole shelter in place, social distancing thing. I feel some kind of way about that because it seems like it's kind of all is all in a process leading up to the election.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, are we really going to be able to get out and vote? They don't want us out. You know, do we wear a mask or don't wear the mask? You know, like it's just really a big plot to try to keep us from actually getting out and voting. I think whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, I think you're going to have many women voters than ever, whether they're Black, white, Latino, Asian. Just the mere fact that this is a first for us as a woman, I just think the women are going to just show up and show out.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think that especially under, you know, what Joe Biden did in selecting a female vice president, you can't, you know, you really can't do any better with that and electrifying and making sure that women understand that their vote is important, and that their voice must be heard, resoundingly in November. So yeah, I agree. I think that if we can get people to the polls, then I believe that no doubt that they will get elected. So let's talk
Right.
about the mail-in ballot crap. What do you think about that?
I think it's a good idea because you have that demographic of the disabled and that can't get out. You
Mm-hmm.
have that group that don't have transportation to get out. So I really think that's one of the smartest things that they could do. I mean, you're going technology with everything else. Why not make it available? Because there are a lot of senior citizens, that say, well, baby, I would love to vote. I just can't get out.
Right. You're right. So I personally think that is one of the oldest tricks, right? For the Republican Party, they always talk about voter fraud and that the election is rigged, and it's always like this thing of it's never fair.
Right.
Everything is against the grand old party. That's what GOP stands for all of you ladies and gentlemen who may have not known that.
Right.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be a very interesting time in November, and I'm looking forward to us rallying around it. Now, I did have another friend on Facebook that said, "Hey, black people, hey, Democrats, we got to come together. You may have not gotten the pick that you wanted, like, if you wanted Warren, or you wanted Rice, or you wanted Bottoms, you got Harris. So get behind her, support her, and let's turn out.
And let's move forward. And that's why, I will stick with, we can continue to be at risk or we can take a risk.
Right. Yeah. I guess when you put it like that, it's not too much of a choice.
Right. What do we have?
Right. No, I agree. I 100% agree. What do you think the vice president debate will look like this year? Pence versus Harris.
Do
you think it would even be a battle?
Oh wow, that's just like oh no, it's interesting that you asked that question, because I've been, seeing all these challenges.
Mm-hmm.
The various, rappers like Snoop Dogg versus DMX. So when you ask that question, I just like,
yeah, right.
Like I said, I know that she is headstrong. I know she comes with boldness. She's not afraid to say what's on her mind. So I think the debate is just going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she's probably going to chump them up because I don't think the Republican Party, I don't think they're as strong as they think they are.
No.
Because they have such a messy leader right now.
Right.
He's not professional. So I don't think anybody that comes under him or behind him is going to be able to overstep his foolery right now.
Right. What's interesting to me though is how the Republican Party was the Republican Party was essentially hijacked by Donald Trump. It really was, because there was so many people that was against him, and they just fell like by the wayside. I mean, he got in there and he just swallowed them up. And if you do not support him as a Republican, your career is over in politics.
Pretty much. Pretty much. And it's strange because he's a businessman, and he has business smarts. When he knows how to finagle. Let me use that.
Right.
Knows how to finagle the system.
bamboozle the
Yes.
system.
Yes. And that's what businessmen do. There's
Right.
about that bottom line, and the bottom line is money or control.
Hmm. So let's talk about this. Now, I think that I'm looking forward to the memes of the walkers and the old man jokes, because both of these
Yeah,
candidates. So Biden is 74 or
right,
75. Trump is 74, I think.
right.
So this is gonna be one debate to never miss. Like if you have never watched a presidential debate in your life, this
Right.
is the year to watch it.
Like
Okay?
this is the year that you really need to have popcorn.
Exactly, because it is gonna be a show.
Right.
Now,
A new name, a new version of Shady Pines, right?
right. Yeah,
Right.
come get your grandpas off the stage. So
Right.
I'm afraid, Sharon.
I am too. It probably will remind me of, that scene in the movie Life when they all start in gray.
Right, and they sit on the porch talking.
They sitting on the porch.
Lord have mercy. Mm.
Right. That's just what I have in my mind. Like that's just what I see.
Right. So let's talk about, and it's gonna be humorous, but I do have a concern for both of them. I think that I think that I don't know. The whole cognitive thing, right? The whole Trump trying to say that Biden is not cognitively there, and that he's has Alzheimer's, and that he's dementive, and that he doesn't even know that he's running for president. They got all these memes. They got all these memes of him popping out saying, "Am I president yet?" Right. So does that make you afraid to hear what he's gonna say on that stage?
No. I
Okay.
I mean, because we took a chance with Trump. He was a
Right.
TV reality star.
Right.
We
Yeah.
took a chance with him. We never know what he's going to say. Even when he's writing for him, we still don't know what's going to come out of his mouth.
That is
So
true.
again, we could take a chance just to
There
see.
you go.
But I think that's why. Well, let me say this: he was smart enough to pick Harris. So
Right.
he's very cognitive of and aware.
Right.
He's of age. He's aware that if he don't make it or get sick the next 4 years, he's
Right.
smart enough to pick somebody that he knows again that
Right.
can step up and keep it moving.
Right. That is true. That, and that's why I'm saying it again for all of you guys that are listening to the podcast. Like, listen, we gotta unite and rally around Harris. I mean, that's just
Right.
what it is. I definitely support it, and I think in ways, I mean, I give him credit for two very great things that he did. Number one, he just blatantly said, yes, I'm gonna have a female African American stand
Right.
beside me at the White House and be my
He knew
right hand woman.
he knew exactly what he wanted,
Right.
and I take it as a compliment wholeheartedly when you
Right.
think about Black women, strong Black women, when
Of
you
course. Yeah.
history, when you think about our ancestors, when you just think about, and no disrespect to a hardworking white woman, but when you just think about the struggles and the push through of that Black single parent. No, that
Mm-hmm.
Black one that was once on drugs and now she's clean and she's VP of a company. We
Right.
to build off of our struggles. And I kind of feel like, Harris, I think she's well-rounded. She
Mm-hmm.
multi-cultured, but that
Mm-hmm.
are well-rounded.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
she's seen some things, she's had some experiences, And I think that that's going to mold her and make her, and as for Trump and what he thinks about Biden, like who tested him? What's about the test? Who tested him? We should have given him a multiple choice because I think that really
Right.
confuses him when he have choices.
It probably does. It probably does. God bless his heart,
Right, right.
as they
So
say in the
I want
South.
everybody to go out and vote. But we got to rally around each other and then
Right.
to rally behind Harris because we can't be out here fighting and killing one another and expect for us to all of a sudden just come together on that day. We need to
Right.
come together as a culture and we need to come together, and get the United States back on track.
There you go. Couldn't have said it any better. Well, that's a good segue. Let's go ahead and go right into the next part. You got a very near and dear project to your heart that you was able to get accomplished. Tell us a little bit about it, Arthur.
So, thank you, thank you. So, Dreamer is a very family-oriented book. My initial target audience was going to be children, but as I got into the book, I think it's going to be for parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles, godparents, anybody that is affiliated or raising a child. And as you as an individual, it's called Dreamer. What do you believe in? What is your dream? And it's based on a true story. So it's about a little boy that wanted to be a rapper. And he was really smart in school, and his mom just could not understand. Like, you're so smart and you can be anything. Why do you want to be the rapper? Why do you want to be in hip hop? And she just didn't understand the dream and she didn't support the dream. And it kind of put a wedge, on their relationship. So I think it pushes you to kind of think about the things that you want to do and the things that you expect of your children. When your daughter was born, oh, she's so pretty. She's going to be a lawyer. She's going to be a doctor. I want her to do this. I want her to do that. And there's going to come that day, Raymond, when she's going to say, no, daddy, because I want to do this.
Right.
Be like, huh? No, but I want you to, no, to do. It's based on a true story about me and my son, and it's interesting.
Awesome.
Everybody, if you're faced with raising a child or have any type of influence on a child, I think you should definitely read it. So it's scheduled to drop the end of August, and it's just really good. And I think I pulled a lot of dreams out of it because it was a dream for me to even write a book.
Awesome.
My illustrator, her name was Jasmine Robinson. She was only 12 years old, had never illustrated a book before.
Wow.
12 years old, and she illustrated the book.
Wow.
My publisher, Pay Pro V Publishing, went to high school with her. Classmate of mine. She has written about 3 books, and she's always wanted to be an author. And she's always wanted to have her own publishing company, and that was her dream. So it's just a dream session.
Awesome. Well, I like it. I'm gonna get my copy. So
Yeah,
you just let me know.
absolutely.
Now, where can the people get it? Where will it be sold? Will it be Will it be an e version?
It's going to start out with it's going to be on Amazon within the next week and a half.
Okay.
I'm kind of working through the kinks of that. The only reason why is because Dreamer actually has a theme song to it.
Okay.
Right. So I was working through the kinks of getting the theme song. The theme song is called What Do You Believe In? And it's actually written and song. It's a hip hop, it's a rap song, and it's actually written by my son.
Okay. Cool.
Right.
Nice little
So on the
collab.
back of the book is going to have a barcode where you can kind of scan it and it'll download the song. And then we're going to list all the different links where you can go and listen to the song. So very good song. What Do You Believe In? Clean version, nothing crazy. You'll actually enjoy the beat to it. And
Okay.
you'll be like, Dad, I like that rap song. So still working through that. So hopefully within the next week or so, I will have everything in place and be able to post the website, definitely where you can order. And we're hoping even with the sound agents of the song, when you click on the song, it'll also take you to the book to order as well.
All right. Well, it sounds good. I'm excited for the success of that book, and it's always good to see people actually see a dream become a reality, or even just walk into a conviction, say, hey, I want to do this, and actually see it through. That's an awesome thing. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our show. I want to thank all of you for sticking with us throughout the show, talking about the state of the Democratic Party. If you just got to the show or you just tuned in, once we get off the air here, you'll be able to listen to the full show. Go back, listen to it. I think you got some good insights, some good points. And again, it's our opinion. You know what I mean? So that's just what it is.
It's our opinion, but we still need you to vote.
There you go. So go out November, vote. If you able-bodied, put that mask on and go to the polls to vote. You go everywhere else, let's make sure we get out and vote. So thank you, Ms. Sharon, for co-hosting with me today. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you. I look forward to doing it again one day.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'll talk with you later. I'm going to let you go, and then we're going to close the show out. So thank you again.
Right. Good night.
All right. Good night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next week. Peace.